Hi, and welcome to the channel. I'm Robin.
And I'm Troy.
And we are here today back in our own house after a little bit of an interesting time. So we wanted to get on here and tell you all about our experience with Trusted House Sitters app and give you our overall review and what we thought of it. So, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here we go. As budget travelers, we want to find the best way that we can travel for the least amount of money and still put ourselves in a good position to be in a good area, enjoy whatever the area has to offer, right?
We want that $100 steak, but we want to pay $20 for it.
There you go, there you go. And we also want to do it in a way that we can see a lot of different places. We're not super picky on where we go because honestly, the world's so big that we'll never, before we die, we will not see everything that we want to see. That's just the reality.
Not even a large portion.
Not even. So we're not picky. And so whenever I heard about the Trusted House Sitters app a couple of years ago, I was very intrigued. We weren't trying to travel as much as what we are right now at that point, but we did decide to go ahead and get on the app, I believe last year.
Last year.
Yeah, so in the middle of all of our cruising and going down to Mexico and this kind of thing, we did do 3 local sits. Mm-hmm. Now, the nice thing about doing local sits first is that you can build up your reviews. So that way, whenever you do apply for a sit far away that you really want, you're more likely to get approved, right?
Right, yeah, and it's a lot cheaper.
Well, that's it. So that's what we're actually going to get into right now. So the Trusted House Sitter app, if you haven't heard of it, is a way of connecting people, people that have a house, usually with pets. There's only a few times that I've seen house sits on there without pets. So it's typically, they can almost say trusted pet sitter with house. Really, because that's really what they care about. The house is fine, but they want you to take care of their dogs or cats or horses or whatever.
Or fish.
Whatever. So anyways, on this Trusted House Sitters app, you can sign in. Now, you can look around before you ever commit to any kind of monetary amount paid to the site, but once you decide that you want to actually have a sit, you do have to become a member. And if you look in the link below, we do have a link to our referral. If you click on it, we do get 2 free months to the membership, and if you refer somebody out, you can too. But in other words, you want to make sure that you refer it out as much as possible so that eventually it doesn't really even cost you anything.
Right.
Now, the good thing about this is that once you sign up, there's no additional cost. And they do have 2 or possibly 3 plans. I'm going to have to look at that. And in this, you have different levels of, I guess, benefits. We went ahead and went for the most expensive plan because it gave us the travel insurance. So we wanted that extra coverage in case there was any possibilities that there would be something going wrong with the sits that we signed up for. And in the end, that was probably a good thing because we almost used that insurance this time. But anyways, so as you get into it and you decide to set up for your sits, you can make application to any of the places that you want to go to. I have noticed that there's only so many around the US, okay? So it's getting more popular, but this was not a US-based app. Initially, it was started out in the UK, and so if you want to travel across the big pond, you've got plenty of opportunities over there.
Which is going to be perfect for us because that's where most of our probably time is going to be spent overseas.
Very soon, very soon. In the years to come, that is our main thing. We want to spend more time across just all over Europe, across the pond, but across Europe, Asia, everything. So if you want to have these sits locally, though, it is a nice way to explore places that maybe are just driving that you don't want to fly to.
Like we did, like there's one in California. So.
Yeah, so that's what we did. So we did 3, what I call local. Austin's kind of local. Yeah. We drove there. From Houston, Austin, that was local. So we did 3 local sits first, kind of get our feet wet, figure out the app, see if we liked it. I was going to say we're big animal people. I'm a big animal person. He likes animals too.
By proxy, I'm a big animal person.
And I've fostered rescue dogs. I've had animals of my own. I grew up in the country. So, you know, being around animals and taking care of the responsibilities of animals has never really bothered me. The 3 local sits that we did were just all dogs. I don't think we had any cats on the first 3.
No, we did.
Did we have a cat?
Yeah, you remember some cats? Yeah, we had cats on one.
Okay,
2 cats on one of them.
Then we must have had dog and cat.
Yeah, it was dog and cat.
We've had dogs on all of them. The app will actually allow you to pick and choose which animals you're interested in house sitting for too. So if reptiles freak you out or you kill fish that you have back at the house that you don't want it to be responsible for other people's fish, you just don't pick those animals.
So the app is not for everybody, but if you like animals, then it's a pretty good situation.
Yeah, and you get to, like I said, pick and choose. I can't wait for one where we get to take care of goats or a horse or something.
Yeah, that's where you be taking.
I like animals.
Bad and all that.
So anyways, our 3 local sits were very easy. We got great reviews. We didn't have any problems. So then we decided to expand out the use of this and do our first long distance sit. We applied for this sit and we were approved. Now this was out in California so that we could go out and see some family. My aunt was turning 80 and we wanted to be in the area. And if you've tried to travel to California, or really a lot of places in the United States, it's very expensive. Not only do you have flights, but then rental car.
Accommodations is your biggest expense typically.
It is, and so that's why we were trying to go as cheap as possible on. But like you said, get that $100 steak for $20. So we got a $100 steak for nothing.
Yeah.
So the house that we stayed at was a beautiful 3-story house right on the water off of
Big Bear Lake.
That's right, and it was not a bad distance from my aunt's house who lived right in the valley off the mountain. So we thought that this would be a perfect opportunity. And so we got it accepted, we made plans, we bought tickets, we rented a Turo. Was our first experience, well my first experience with Turo. And so our tickets were $500
total
round trip, nonstop, United.
For 2, that's for 2.
And so I thought that was pretty good. The Turo for 11 days was $349. I thought that was very good as well. And it was not a little car. It was actually a Hyundai Santa Fe, which ironically is what we drive at home. So it was an easy transition. And then the hotel would have been, if we would have gotten a hotel or a resort, what do we think?
These probably $1,500.
Yeah, and if we would have tried to rent a house like the one that we actually stayed at the water, we would have been looking at probably $3,000, right? Yeah. So we look at that as a huge, huge savings. So
and a benefit, a perk and a benefit.
That's right, and it was great for them. So the owners of this house were very, very nice. They have 5 cats, and so we took care of their 5 cats. They had
really almost like 3.
It was almost really like 3. So the 3 downstairs cats, because they had them separated. And the 3 downstairs cats, very friendly, beautiful kitties. They warmed up to us very good and very quickly. And the 2 upstairs cats, I only really saw whenever I went up there to feed them, change their litter box, and one of them comes out every now and again to get brushed. So that was really it. The nice thing about cats over dogs is you don't have to walk them.
Right.
The downside of cats over dogs is you don't get to walk them. We actually like to walk dogs. We walk the neighbor's dog here, so it's really fun. So let's talk to them about the actual experience. So do we think that overall it was good and bad?
It was incredible. It was incredible.
And what do you think the downsides were? Anything?
I can't think of any downside. The fires, I mean, but that's another thing.
Well, that's what we were getting at. So we went up on Friday, and we were going to be up there, like I said, for 11 days, 10 nights. We went up there on a Friday. The area had been unfortunately ravaged for about 22 days before we got there for wildfires in the San Bernardino area. We did a small little video about that and about just how the smoke and the scariness of it and all the possible evacuations. We're not going to go into a whole lot of that here, but we did go up on Friday. The mandatory evacuation had already went away, so we felt like it was safe to go up. And little did we know, 2 days later, the evacuation warning was going to be back.
Yeah, warning. This time it was
just
a
warning.
Not you have to do it, but it was a warning. So it was getting close.
But there was a possibility that we would have had to evacuate with these 5 cats. Then it pretty much calmed down after about 2 days of that. We were still under a warning, but the rest of the time it went business as usual around the town. We went into town, we got our groceries, we walked around in the middle of the day. We took a break from work. Now Monday through Friday we were working, so all of these trips we have to work on. We may take off a day or an afternoon, but these are in no way vacations. These are what I call workcations.
Kind of vacation.
Okay, well they're not vacation for me. So, because I have to work a regular schedule, I have to be there. Otherwise, the business does not come to me anymore, and I can't do this. So, anyways, the Monday through Friday went pretty much business as usual. Like I said, we were watching the smoke Monday. Tuesday it got a little calmer. By Wednesday it was fine. Everything was good. So the evacuation warning got lifted for our area on Friday, that following Friday, October 4th.
Was it Friday?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got the little
Okay.
I've got the little
Okay.
notice on my phone, and so that was great. So we felt like we were pretty much in the clear. Now there was still evacuation warning and mandatory evacuation for other areas around us, but not our actual area. And we thought everything was kind of calming down. We were watching it.
Yeah, it was crazy seeing the smoke over the mountain.
It was, and here we're just in there making our dinner, like, and watching TV, and there's like smoke raging. It was weird for me coming from Houston because we deal with hurricanes here.
Yeah.
As unfortunately Florida has been ravaged with a double punch on the hurricanes. Our thoughts and prayers going out to everybody over there. But we've been there, so we've had to deal with the hurricanes coming. But whenever that happens, the whole area is dealing with it. We're preparing for it, we're going through it, and then we're recovering from it as a huge, wide-scale, multi-county kind of thing, and that's what we're used to. So it was very weird, especially for me, I can't speak for him, to be down like at the local little grocery store picking up stuff we were going to make for dinner as we're watching this smoke plume and knowing that people like 20 minutes away from us are under evacuation.
Right.
It was very strange.
Yeah.
But it all went fine in the end. We did have a great time,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
I mean, and the great thing was the last day that we were there, we did spend some time with my aunt. So on the weekends we drove down the mountain. Those mountain roads are no joke, guys. That is,
gosh.
ooh, that was some scary stuff.
I don't get road
motion sickness.
but
Oh yeah,
it was bad.
It was worse than you've ever gotten on a cruise, I think.
Oh yeah, much worse.
It's crazy.
Much worse.
But yeah, so those roads were no joke, and so, but we did I got pretty well used to driving on it because I do all the driving for the most part, and but we had a great time. We'd go down the mountains on the weekends, we'd come back up, and like I said, we'd be there during the week taking care of the cats and everything. The thing about the Trusted House Sitter app is that you have to understand that this is the only downside of it is you are not truly on vacation, meaning you can't just go be gone all day, be gone overnight, leave the dogs and cats and whatever else that you're supposed to be taking
Farm
care
animals.
of. It is a responsibility as if it's your house, and you have to take care of the house and the animals the way you would if they were yours. That is the downside.
Yeah, but you do get the benefit of on that off time, you can go explore the area. We got a chance to take a deep dive into the lake. So that was cool.
Yeah, the lake was fun. We got the kayaks out. So we did the kayak. And then fortunately, the last night before we left, we had already kind of made friends with the neighbors who were friends with the owners of the house that we were staying at. Perfectly lovely people. We had a lot of fun with them.
Right? Got to eat dinner.
So y'all introduce yourselves. Say hi.
Hi, I'm Julie.
I thought you meant me. Hi, I'm Mike. I'm Troy.
Yeah, we know who you are.
Yes, they took us out on their boat, had us out for dinner, and took us out for their boat. And then, as we were on the boat, right,
Oh yeah.
the helicopter started turning up again. So apparently the fires must have kicked up in another area. We didn't actually see a whole lot of smoke, but we saw at one point in time, we counted 6 helicopters.
Right.
And they'd come down into the lake that we were in.
Scoop the water.
Scoop the water up, another one with a big old hose,
Right.
sucking the water up, and then they're literally flying over our head with these big buckets of water. Just you can see the water kind of coming out.
Until the water police ran us off.
Yeah, the water police did. They came up and said, "You got to go."
I had to go home, but you got to get out of here.
They kicked about 3 or 4 of us out of the
Boats,
area.
3 or
I'm
4
sure
boats.
they, for the liability, they didn't want that. Like if that thing dropped, they didn't want it dropping on a whole boat of people.
Right.
That probably would have not done well. So yeah, but it was a great experience, and so for the app, I definitely can recommend it. I don't think that it's necessarily for anybody that just wants to go out for a weekend or a holiday and doesn't want that added responsibility.
right.
But for somebody that travels like we do, that we want to live other places. We don't want a vacation per se. Yeah, a vacation day or a weekend where you don't have responsibilities and you don't have a schedule is fabulous. But for the most part, because we do work and we like having our travels in a way that we're not going to get burnout. We still watch our TV at night. He takes his Fire Stick with him, and we just pop into whatever shows we were already watching. We cook most of our dinners at the place that we're staying and could just go out a little
breakfast
bit.
and dinners.
Yeah, and so the nice thing is that for us, it's just living. It's just living. So if you're looking for a way to travel on a budget, you like animals, and you don't mind some responsibility, then the Trusted House Sitter app, I think, is a big thumbs up. I
Yeah.
can highly recommend it. And it's definitely something that you should check out. I've actually talked to a few people about it, and one of my work associates, actually, I was telling him about it, and he's like, send that over to me. I'm going to talk to my girlfriend about it tonight, because that sounds right up our alley. And a lot of people have never heard about it, and if we get more people doing it, more people putting their houses up there. In fact, the neighbors we were talking about that we went out on their boat, they had a dog, and they said that they were, at one point in time, Mila, yeah, sweet Mila. But they were paying somebody $75 a day to come stay at their house and watch their dog, and then that person decided to go off and do something else and have their friend come over, and they're like, "We don't know your friend. Who is this friend?" That's not good. So you want to make sure that you've got somebody responsible. And the nice thing about the Trusted House Sitter app, like many of the apps, Airbnb.
Both parties are vetted.
Both parties are vetted. And part of your membership fee is that they're going to do a background check on you. In addition to that, you get reviewed as the sitter, and they get to reviewed as the owner. So it's definitely something, like a lot of the different things, that you are held accountable because your reviews matter.
Right.
And so you want to try to do your best, and you want a good experience for both you and them. So that way it opens up the opportunity for more of us to travel this way.
Yeah.
So
and it's something that's going to get bigger, and more people will recognize it and realize what it is as time goes on.
Because people get tired of paying a lot of money whenever you travel. Think about it. You're paying for your housing. I can't talk right now. You're paying for your housing expense for your house. Then you're traveling on vacation. You want your pets that you love dearly taken care of, but then you're paying to travel, and then you're paying to have somebody go back and stay at you're paying 3 times for that time. And I think that,
and not to mention the time that you miss from work if you're working.
Right. So really paying 3 times and losing out on one, it's just a lot. So if you've ever heard of this app, you definitely need to check it out. If you've got a nice house, if you've got some pets, I do think that it's something that you need to take care of, checking out and see if it would work out for you. And we're definitely going to do more traveling.
Oh, definitely.
So, okay, so that's it. A short one. We got
to like and subscribe. Don't forget, like and subscribe.
Please. We've actually crested over. This is going to sound stupid to say 500. I know. We're such a small channel. Maybe in a couple years we're going to look at this and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe we were just at 500." And
maybe in 6 months we'll.
Well, yeah, hopefully. But anyways, yes, please like and subscribe. We like to put out good content, and we're looking at doing more. We've got some trips coming up, and we look forward to taking you along with us, along with some other things that we actually need to go back and do some old videos on for some things that we just haven't stopped long enough to do. It's hard to do this and work a full-time job. So, yeah. Anyways, thanks so much.
Dos dedos.
Bye.